Hello ladies and gentlemen, in this video we are going to cover the current affairs. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app. You can attempt the quiz in this app and you can read detailed explanation. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. Now we have started a new channel, Civils Academy. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. Now let's start. What does T stand for in the Safurti scheme, which was in news recently? So the name of scheme is Safurti. It stands for Scheme of Fund for Regeneration of Traditional Industries. So this T stands for traditional. So it is a fund for the revival of traditional industries. Recently it was in news because of MSME Minister Nitin Gadkari. MSME stands for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. So recently Nitin Gadkari inaugurated this scheme-based clusters. Now recently Nitin Gadkari was also in news as he inaugurated India's first multimodal logistic park, and this is in Jogighopa in Assam. Presently, Nitin Gadkari is the Minister of Road Transport and Highways. Recently, his ministry launched a new campaign. It is Go Green. So this campaign was launched to encourage people to switch to electric vehicles. Similarly, Delhi government launched a campaign to encourage people to switch to electric vehicles, and the name of this campaign is Switch Delhi. Delhi government also announced that the government will replace all the traditional vehicles in next 6 months. That means all the departments in the government will use electric vehicles only, and that replacement of traditional vehicles will be done in the upcoming 6 months. Now for the promotion of electric vehicles, there is scheme. It is FAME, that is faster adoption and manufacturing of hybrid and electric vehicles. As per the recent study by NASA and German Aerospace Center, some microbes are found on Earth and they may survive in which planet? So, as per this study, it was found that there are some microbes which are present on Earth and they may survive on Mars. Now, this is very significant for the success of future Mars missions. Why? Because now these microbes can be sent to the Mars by launching them in a specific scientific balloon. Now, NASA is the space agency of USA. Recently, NASA was in news because of its Perseverance mission. It is NASA's mission for Mars. Recently, Hope probe was also in news. It is UAE's, that is United Arab Emirates, mission for Mars. Recently, Tianwen-1 was in news. It is China's mission for Mars. Recently, China was in news because it declared itself free from extreme poverty. Now, in the context of NASA's Mars mission, a term was in news. Dare mighty things. What is this? Please answer in comment box. Recently, NASA was also in news as it released first audio from Mars. India's first undersea tunnel is being constructed in which city? So, it is going to be in Mumbai. Mumbai is in Maharashtra, and this is going to be India's first undersea tunnel, and this will be under Arabian Sea. Recently, Maharashtra was in news as Lonar Lake was included in the list of Ramsar sites. Ramsar is a convention for wetland preservation and conservation. Every year on 2nd of February, World Wetland Day is celebrated. Ramsar is a name of place and it is in Iran. Now, the most recent entry from Indian side is Sokar Lake. That means this lake is the latest Ramsar site in our country. This lake is in Union Territory of Ladakh. In South Asia, India have the highest number of Ramsar sites. Recently, Iran was in news because of JCPOA, that is Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. Informally, it is known as Iran Nuclear Deal, which is the world's first country to ban all vulture toxic drugs known so far. So, it is our neighbor Bangladesh. Recently, it decided to ban ketoprofen. It is a painkiller which is used to treat the cattles. However, the problem is that when vultures feed on these cattles, it creates problems for these vultures, and sometimes it leads to the death of these vultures. So that is why Bangladesh decided to ban this ketoprofen. There is another veterinary drug and it is diclofenac. Even this is banned. Now, India banned this diclofenac in 2006. Recently, in December 2020, Oman, a country in West Asia, became the first country in Arabian Peninsula to ban the veterinary use of diclofenac. Recently, Bangladesh was also in news because of Bhashan Char Island. Actually, Rohingyas are Muslim minority community and they are persecuted in Myanmar. That's why they are migrating from Myanmar to Bangladesh, and now Bangladesh is trying to settle them on this Bhashan Char island. Now the problem is that as per critics, this island is vulnerable to floods. So that is why it was in news recently. This island is situated in the Bay of Bengal. This island is also known as Char Pia. Which country was the top trade partner of India in 2020? So as per recent data from Commerce Ministry, China was the top trading partner in last year. China replaced USA as the top trading partner. So the bilateral trade was $77.7 billion. That means bilateral trade between India and China. In case of India and USA, it was $75.9 billion. And UAE was the third biggest trade partner of India. So China is on first position, USA is on second position, and UAE is on third position in terms of trade with India. Recently, China was also in news as it is the top country in terms of current account surplus. That means China had the biggest current account surplus in the world. On the other hand, USA had the biggest current account deficit. Recently, China was also in news as it banned BBC World News. Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary is situated in which state of India? So, this is situated in the state of Kerala. Recently, Kerala was in news as it became the first state in our country to announce MSP for vegetables. Kerala was also in news because recently Arya Rajendran became the youngest mayor, and she is mayor from Tirunelveli in Kerala. Recently, Kerala was also in news because of India's first digital university, and this is going to be in Mangalapuram in Kerala. Which airport has topped the Customer Satisfaction Survey by AAI, that is Airport Authority of India? So, as per this survey by AAI, Udaipur is on top position and Madurai in Tamil Nadu is on second position. Udaipur is in Rajasthan. Udaipur is known as the City of Lakes. So this AAI is Airport Authority of India. It is a statutory body and it is under Ministry of Civil Aviation. Recently, Rajasthan was in news because it announced M-SAND policy. M-SAND stands for Manufactured Sand Policy. In which state the Advanced Institute of Integrated Research in Livestock and Animal Sciences has been inaugurated recently? So this state is Tamil Nadu. The Chief Minister is K. Palniswamy. Recently, he was in news because he inaugurated this AIIRLAS. What is AIIRLAS? It is Advanced Institute of Integrated Research in Livestock and Animal Science. So recently, this was inaugurated and it is in Salem district of Tamil Nadu. This is significant because it is going to be the largest such institution in the Asia. Recently, Tamil Nadu was also in news as it won Syed Mustaq Ali Trophy. This is a cricket tournament and this is a T20 cricket tournament. Recently, one more event related to cricket was in news and it is Narendra Modi Stadium. So this is the biggest cricket stadium in the world and it is in Motera in Gujarat. And that means this stadium is part of a sports complex, and this sports complex is named after Iron Man of India, that is Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. He was the first Home Minister of independent India. Next question is, hunter killers are to be procured by which Indian armed forces? So they will be procured by Indian Army. Recently it was in news because DAC, that is Defence Acquisition Council, approved the proposal of Indian Army to buy Arjun Mark 1A hunter killers. So these will be procured by Indian Army. Now this DAC is Defence Acquisition Council and it is headed by Defence Minister. And this is the top authority for the defence procurement. Now please note that these Arjun MK main battle tanks are manufactured by DRDO. DRDO is under MOT, that is Ministry of Defence. DRDO was also in news because of Rakshita. Rakshita is a bike ambulance. So this bike ambulance series has been developed by DRDO. Recently it was in news because this was given to CRPF. What is CRPF? It is Central Reserve Police Force. CRPF are part of CAPF, that is Central Armed Police Forces. CAPF are under MHA, that is Ministry of Home Affairs. Recently, Home Minister launched Ayushman CAPF scheme. So it is a health scheme for the members of Central Armed Police Forces, and for this scheme two authorities collaborated. One is Ministry of Home Affairs and second is National Health Authority. Recently, this National Health Authority was in news because Mr. Ram Sevak Sarma has been appointed as the next CEO of this National Health Authority. So these were the most important questions. Now we are going to cover important news events. So first is Gymnastic Federation of India. Actually, recently this federation was in news as Ministry of Youth and Sports Affairs gave recognition to this Gymnastic Federation of India as a national sports federation. Now, recognition means it will remain valid. Next is Amazonia mission. Recently it was in news because of PSLV C-51. So this is a launch vehicle of ISRO, that is Indian Space Research Organization, and it is going to launch the Amazonia satellite. This Amazonia satellite is a satellite of Brazil. Now, this is a very significant launch. Why it is significant? Because this mission is the first dedicated commercial mission of NSIL. NSIL stands for New Space India Limited. So why it is significant? Because it is the first dedicated commercial mission of NSIL, that is New Space India Limited. Now this NSIL is the commercial nodal agency of ISRO. Commercial means it is going to launch the satellites of other countries and it will earn money from that. So with this PSLV C-51, this Amazonia 1 mission will be launched and it is an initiative of Brazil. Next is Ligia Noronha. So recently she was in news as she has been appointed as the United Nations Assistant Secretary General and head of the New York office of UNEP. She is Indian economist. Next is G20. So recently this G20 was in news. Why? Because of its central bank governors meeting. Please note that in this meeting our finance minister, not the Reserve Bank governor, but the finance minister attended this meeting. Who is our present finance minister? She is Nirmala Sitharaman. So she attended this meeting and this was held under the presidency of Italy. So 2021 is under the presidency of Italy, 2020 was under the presidency of Saudi, 2022 is going to be under the presidency of Indonesia, and 23 is going to be under India, 24 is going to be under Brazil. Recently, Saudi Arabia was also in news as USA imposed sanctions on Saudi Arabia. Next is Namma Cargo Service. So as the name suggests, it is a cargo service and it has been launched by Karnataka. So the name of state is important here. Next is GDP. So GDP stands for Gross Domestic Product. In this context, GDP data is released by NSO. What is NSO? It is National Statistical Office. NSO is under MOSPI, that is Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. This NSO was constituted after the merger of NSSO and CSO. What is NSSO? It is National Sample Survey Office. What is CSO? It is Central Statistics Office. Next is Green Energy and Environment Leadership Award. So this award is to be given to the Prime Minister of India, and this award is to be given at CERA Summit. What is CERA? It stands for Cambridge Energy Research Associates. So this CERA Week Conference will be organized by IHS Markit. Please note that the spelling of Markit is MARKIT. So this IHS Markit is going to organize the CERA conference, and during that conference Prime Minister Modi will be given this Global Energy and Environment Leadership Award. What is the full form of CERA? It is Cambridge Energy Resource Associates. Next is National Science Day. So it was celebrated on 28th of February. Theme was Future of STI. You need not to remember the full theme, but just remember the keywords. So the theme was Future of STI. STI stands for Science, Technology and Innovations. Apart from that, on 27th of February, World NGO Day was celebrated. NGO stands for Non-Governmental Organization. Next is State of Environment Report 2021. So recently this report was released by CSE, that is Center for Science and Environment. It is not for profit center and headquarters is in New Delhi. Next is the presidential years. So this is a memo of our late president Pranab Mukherjee. He is popularly known as Pranab Da. Next is postal ballot for NRI. NRI are non-resident Indians. So recently Election Commission announced the elections in 5 states. That means schedule was announced. So these 5 states are Assam, Puducherry, actually this is Union Territory, Kerala, West Bengal and Tamil Nadu. So recently schedule was announced for these 4 states and 1 union territory. And recently Election Commission announced that for these elections NRIs will not have any postal ballot facility. Postal ballot means suppose you are in USA and you are from Tamil Nadu. Now elections are going to be in your state. So right now if you want to vote, you will have to come to India and you will have to vote in your constituency. But if postal ballots are announced, that means if this facility is allowed, then you will get a postal ballot electronically. Electronically means like you get a mail or email. Similarly, you will get a postal ballot. In simplest term, you will get the list of candidates of your constituency and you can select A, B, C, so on. Once you will fill this, then you will return it back to your constituency and your vote will be considered. So in case of postal ballot, you need not to come to India to vote. However, right now for NRIs, this facility will not be allowed for these elections. That is why this entire issue was in news. Next is Michael Somre. So Michael Somre passed away recently. He was the first Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea. Now why he was so significant? Because he was known as the father of Papua New Guinea. And that is why it is important from exam perspective. Next is Jaina Bridge. So as the name suggests, it is going to be on Jaina River and it is world's highest rail bridge. And this will be built by Konkan Railway Corporation. Next is Vodianova. So she is a supermodel from Russia. Why she was in news recently? Because she is the new Goodwill Ambassador of United Nations. Next is Matam Venkatrao. So recently M. Venkatrao was in news as M. Venkatrao has been appointed as the MD and CEO of Central Bank of India. Next is E-Parivahan Vyavastha. So it is a transportation facility launched by the Himachal Pradesh government. And last is Yusuf Pathan. Yusuf Pathan is a cricketer. Recently he announced his retirement. Apart from him, Vinay Kumar also announced his retirement and he is a cricketer and he is the former captain of Karnataka team. So these were the most important news events. Now get ready for the test. Thank you and that's all for the day.